Good morning, artists, beautiful souls, and it is a beautiful morning. It's cold out there, but we are approaching spring quickly, and I'm excited about that. I've already talked about it. I get to go outside and paint. I was going to do so this morning, but it is still just a little too cold. I'm going to blame it on my paint and just say that my paint would be too cold and gooey for me to work with instead of the more obvious answer that it's too cold for my old bones. So, I wanted to talk to you just very briefly about success. How you measure success is entirely up to you. Um, there's no real standard for it. You can say I make a lot of money with my art or with whatever field I work in. You can say I take my glasses off, by the way, out of consideration for you, the viewer, because they glare a lot. And for the same reason, I'll probably wear a hat in the next video because this kind of glows too. I'm not ashamed of being bald. I'm a founding member of the Big, the Bad, the Bald, and the Beautiful. And I never have a bad hair day. But the glare can be a little much. I was watching some of the other videos. I was like, my God, that's a little distracting. So we might want to fix that in the future, and I'll throw one of my hats on. I have a big collection of hats that I wear when I go outdoors to work. Um, Success, money, is it prestige? Is it just being good at what you do? Is it the adoration of the people you care about? You know, there's the old saying that your mama can tell you you're good, and if mama tells you you're good, then that's good enough. Well, you know, if that's your gig, okay, that's how you measure success. But I want to share something with you that comes from a different art, and some people will question whether or not it was actually art. The band Kiss, that pretty much dominated the 70s, they owned everything. They had streets named after them. They were given keys to cities. They were merchandise, toys. I mean, if you're old enough to remember, great. They were also pretty dominant in the 80s. They're still around, bless their hearts. I think they're approaching 70 years old, still putting on makeup and dancing around with a hip replacement and God knows what else going on. But they were asked in an interview one time what was the secret to their success. And in their case, of course, it meant tons of financial sales through their concerts and through their albums and their merchandise. Well, good morning. My dogs have come in to say good morning. So there's Itty Bitty and there's Baltimore Snook. So if you hear scratching and snorting going on, that's them saying good morning. But this answer to the question, what was the secret to your success? And I think it was Paul Stanley, the lead singer, who said it. He said, in our mind, no matter whether we were playing a club that seated 50 or 100 or some horrible dive somewhere, in our minds, every time we took the stage, we were at Madison Square Garden. And that was a big deal. And the same thing occurred to me, that it doesn't matter if my artwork is hanging in a barber shop, a coffee shop, a local gallery, or some restaurant somewhere. In my mind, that's the Louvre, um, or if you wish, the Guggenheim or the Met or whatever your favorite museum might be. Showing your art to people, if it satisfies you, then you're successful. But if in your mind it's always one of those major outlets, uh, then you are the rock star artist that you envision yourself being. And I talked briefly yesterday during a mentoring session about this. When you're in a band, and I'm a musician, so I've got a little experience with this. When you're in a band and you're composing a song, or if you're learning a cover tune, uh, my part was to go home and learn my part first, then listen over and over again, play along with the track or whatever it is until I learn all the parts of the song. And I concentrate very hard on making sure I'm precise, that I've not just got the percussion, but I've got the melody. I want to make sure that I'm adding little touches that are all mine. and then the band comes together and they rehearse and we go back and forth and we talk and we work out this, we work this out. But then it's showtime. You hit the stage, the lights come up, there's that 4 count for the first song, and you're off. It's time to rock. It's time to perform. There's no more thinking. You completely go away when you're on stage. This is why you can dance around, why you can sing and talk while you're still playing your instrument. It is the exact same thing when you approach your easel. There's a time to learn. There's a time for us to perfect technique, brush strokes, study, read, learn. But then when you walk up to your easel, it's showtime. Okay? No more thinking, just doing. And that's going to be one of the secrets to your success. If you're keeping also in your mind that this piece is going to hang in the Louvre or the Met or the Guggenheim, wherever. I've got 2 pieces behind me. I'm working on 2 at once. One is a from scratch. The one to your right, my left. This other one over here, which you may not be able to see, was a completed work that hung on my wall for a day. And it irritated me because it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It was hack work. It was just another lousy landscape that anyone could have done. It wasn't me. And that's a process that I allow. This is for after the show, okay? If performing on stage is when you hit your easel and your canvas and you just get after it with your paintbrush, then there's an after the show, and we would do that in the band also, sit and critique, talk about what worked, what didn't work, whatever. I allow my paintings to hang for a while on a wall here in the house, and I just look at it, and I allow it to either irritate me or please me. If it pleases me, it gets a signature. I do a certificate of authenticity for it, and it gets ready to go to the show or to be sold. If it irritates me, I think about what I need to fix. If it pisses me off, then it goes back on the chopping block, and we're going to do that song over again. So I'm repeating this song to get it right this time, and this is a new one that just hit the stage. So that's our music analogy this morning, and there is so much I have found from being both a musician and a painter that tie together. You guys knock it off. That tie together. The analogies are just so perfectly enmeshed with one another that thinking in both of those terms really helps me to move forward on my journey as a paint slinger. Listen, keep making your art, keep showing it to people. Be nice, don't be a jerk, and keep in mind that you're already the star you want to be. Practice when you need to practice, but when you walk up to this thing, it's showtime. Have a great day. God bless you. Sling the paint.